Welcome back to class, you WG to the P, don't stop, you get enough shot of your boy. In today's class, we're going to talk about dividends, but before we get started with today's subject, I want to give you guys a pop quiz. So the question is, if you invest, does every stock you buy pay out dividends? Reply yes or no in the comments down below. But now, without further ado, let's get started in today's video. Okay, so what is a dividend? A dividend is when a company has so much money that they decide to give back a portion of it back to the people that have shares with them. Just to be clear, not all companies pay out dividends, and I'll actually go ahead and show you guys right now how to check if a company pays them out and what the percentage means when you actually find it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the holdings that I have with Robinhood so we can see which single stocks pay out dividends and which ones don't, so you can see the difference. So we're gonna go ahead and first click on NEO, which is one of the stocks that I'm holding right now. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom where it gives you the information of that specific company, you can see that it says dividend/yield and there's a dash. That means that it doesn't pay out any dividends. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys Tesla as well. Scroll all the way to the bottom, you see dividend/yield, there's a dash. It doesn't pay out dividends. And now I'm gonna show you guys, search up one of the stocks that I know that does pay out dividends, which is Apple. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you see dividend/yield, which is 0.66. That's the percentage that they pay out in regards to how much money you have with that specific company. So why is dividend investing important? Let's go back to NEO, for example, which is one of the stocks that I'm holding right now. It says that I'm positive $115. That means that if I decide to sell my shares of NEO, I would profit $115. I haven't made that money yet. It can go up and down depending, and just by me holding those shares, I am not getting paid at all. And it would be the same for Tesla. It says that I'm up $1,000. Let's just say $1,000, right? It's 1,007 with some sense. But it says that I'm up $1,000. Tesla doesn't pay out dividends, so even if I hold the stock, not until I sell it will I make any profit. I have to sell the stocks in order to make profit. So when it comes to dividend investing, it's a little different. For this example, I'm gonna go ahead and use Apple. Apple closed at $122.28, which means you needed to have $122.28 in order to buy one share of Apple. So let's say we wanted to buy 9 shares of it. That would cost us $1,000, $1,152. That sounds better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the calculator and we're just gonna round it to 1,100. It's gonna be 1,100. We're gonna times that by the dividend yield, which is 0.66%. So we're gonna move the decimal twice to the left because math. So it's gonna be times 0.0066, and that gives us $7.26, which means that at the end of the year, Apple would give you $7.26 to hold their stock with them and not selling it. That meaning you get that, and if the stock went up and you decide to sell, you would gain that profit as well. So the difference between investing in a company that pays dividend and one that doesn't is, for example, like I mentioned before with NEO and Tesla, is that I'm not getting paid anything up until I sell those stocks. So just by holding them, I'm not getting paid anything. If I were to invest in Apple, let's say those $1,100 that we said, right? That's $7.26 that I would get paid at the end of the year. But they do pay out their dividends they pay quarterly. So what we would do is $7.26, divide that by 4. So that means that every 3 months they would pay out $1.81. That's how much the person would get if they were to invest in Tesla, which it doesn't seem like a lot, but check this out. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot getting paid $7 at the end of the year for having invested $1,000 in Apple. But let's say you had $10,000 in a savings account, right? Most banks don't pay this, but let's say they did, and it was 0.05%. So what we're gonna do is, and this is just a regular savings, right? It's not a high dividend yield account, none of that stuff. So let's do $10,000 times 0.0005. that would give you $5. So if you had $10,000 in your savings account at the end of the year, if that specific bank gave you a 0.05%, which most pay less, you would get $5. When in regards to just investing in Apple, $1,100, you would get paid $7. You get paid more for less. So yes, I just want to reiterate that before you do start investing, I do recommend that you have some money saved in your savings account in case of a rainy day. Like, let's say your stocks aren't doing good, or you look for a new job, other X and Y scenarios over there. But it's always important to have something saved up for a rainy day before you start investing. So let's say you invested those $1,100 into Apple and you're negative with that stock. Let's say that the stock went down from 120 to $100, right? So you're down like $80. You will still get paid those dividends as long as you're holding the stock. It doesn't matter if you're negative or positive. The specific company will still pay out its dividends as long as you have shares with them. It doesn't matter if you're positive or negative. Just to make that perfectly clear. So now if you guys watched my previous episode, my previous video, I talked about single stock investing, which is Neo, Tesla, Apple, the ones that you showed. I talked about index funds, I talked about mutual funds, and I talked about ETFs. The beautiful thing about dividends is that although all those are four totally different things, dividends are in all four of them. So that's one of the good things about dividend investing. It doesn't matter which one you decide to do. If you do all four, if you just choose one, you can always invest into dividends in regards to whichever one you decide to do. So just like individual stocks, ETFs are going to work exactly the same in the way in Robinhood when it comes to checking if they do pay dividends or not. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the ones that I hold here, which is VU, the same thing as the other one. Just go to the bottom where it gives you the information of that specific ETF. That one pays it out. Same thing with this one right here. Just go to the bottom and you can see that they do pay out dividends. I don't want to say that all index funds, mutual funds, and ETFs pay out dividends, but I'm pretty sure they do, given that there's so many companies in that specific fund that I'm pretty sure at least one company within that fund has to pay dividends. But I mean, there could be some that don't, but it's highly likely that they do. So if you want to do dividends, I recommend looking into index funds, mutual funds, or ETFs, because like I mentioned in other videos, it's just safer. And before someone says, why give the example of Apple if you're not investing in it? I'm not investing in Apple within Robinhood itself, but in my Roth IRA, which is with a different, platform or different website. I don't know. I do have shares of Apple there. I try to spread out my money, in different here and there, but that's about that. That's enough about that. So keep in mind that if you decide to invest in a specific company, ETF, index fund, whatever it is, right? The percentage, or at least in Robinhood from the one that I can see, the percentage that they give you here is the annual percentage that they would pay out if you held their stock for a whole year. So if you Google, let's say you do Apple, right, like I did earlier. If you go when does Apple pay its dividends, it'll show you, I'm pretty sure you can find anything on Google. It'll give you its payout history, and you can see that every 3 months they pay it out. So all you would do is you can divide that 0.66 by 4, and that'll be how much percentage they would give you every 3 months if you want to do that math. But just keep in mind that the percentage that they show you, at least in Robinhood, is for the whole year if you held that stock. So that's pretty much it when it comes to dividends. There are companies that pay it out, some that don't, and I believe every year they adjust if the dividend is going to go up or down. And keep in mind that a company could get rid of this dividend like Disney did when COVID had first hit. I was holding Disney, and I think their dividend went to 0 for that specific reason. So a company isn't promising you that they're always going to pay out its dividends, because it can always change. Just keep that in mind. Just wanted to make that clear to you guys as well. And I tend to forget to do this mid-video because I get like, I don't want to say excited, but I focus on the information that I want to give you guys. But make sure you hit subscribe with the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Share it to someone else, help me make this YouTube community bigger for us, and what else? Comment down below if you guys like the video or not. Do the little bell thing, that'd be cool too. But yeah, remember, I'm not a licensed professional. This is not financial advice. I do this, I'm just a dude in his room. It's cold, I'm freezing, I just do this for fun because I enjoy doing it. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I'll go ahead and do separate videos when it comes to what exactly an individual stock is, what mutual funds, index funds, and ETFs are. I'm gonna dissect all of it for you guys in specific videos. I'm thinking of doing individual stocks next, but go ahead and comment down below which one you guys are more interested in me talking about, so you guys can learn that one sooner. Dude, it's cold. But yeah, this is not financial advice like I mentioned before. Please place a heads up 7 up with the like button, and I'm gonna pause the video here because I need to think of the bar of the day so I can close out the video. So before we close out the video, I'm gonna assign you guys homework to please share this video with someone else. It doesn't matter who it is, just share it to them. But today's bar of the day is gonna be by Chris Webby, and this is real rap, straight facts. I got a case of Snapple. The bars. But give me a bag of chips so I can dip.